couldn't get through the long-term plan. Shouldn't they have that
wanted to be there,
consulted on?
that's
right.
it's just a bit of a stretch sometimes.
Well, I'll do once the steelwork starts at the end of March. So I was hoping that if any of the councillors are interested, do a bit of a tour or a hard hat tour and get down there and it's nice.
ASB building and you got the full building, which is going to be right on your tail.
Not in the laughing.
Opens up.
The council to call the meeting back to order, please. Thank you very much.
South.
We're going back to item number 9. So it's the presentations from the Auckland Regional Amenities Funding Board. Our first presentation, I believe, is from the Auckland Theatre Company. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, councillors, for the opportunity to present to you about Auckland Theatre Company. I'm afraid I don't have a violin with me this morning, so but and you don't want to hear me sing. As a way of background, Auckland Theatre Company is the region's major professional performing arts company. We offer a year-round program of theatre and performance work, principally in the central city, but we also work across the region with a number of other initiatives. We're a national leadership organisation, and we're particularly focused on New Zealand work and work which gives voice to the unique stories that we have here in Auckland and in Aotearoa. I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank Council for your support. The organisation would not be what it is today without the support that we've had from Council, and it is greatly appreciated, and we're very mindful of that. We're very much focused on how we can contribute to the Auckland Plan and the outcomes of the Auckland Plan, particularly around arts and culture, but also around work that we do with young people and other particular initiatives. Each year we present a main bill and family program of over 200 performances a year. We play to approximately 65,000 people. We employ roughly 350 contractors a year to come in and make the work and present it. Particular highlights for us in the last year have been we did a tremendously well-received production of Once on Chunnock Bear, the Morris Shadbolt classic, commemorating the Chunnock Bear story, which was well supported by schools and very well attended. Another particular one I would like to mention is that we premiered Paniora by Māori playwright Brian Grace Smith, which we took down to the Wellington Festival, was a key component of the work there. We also brought that back here to Auckland. It was a collaboration that we did with Okareka Dance Company and was supported by workshop programs that we took around the schools. And finally, the big one that we did for it last year was Jesus Christ Superstar. We played for 2 months in Q Theatre at Christmas, and we played to over 16,000 people with a large cast of close to 40 people on stage, which is quite a feat. It's the biggest show they've ever had in Q Theatre, which is a little 370-seat venue. It was a terrific way for us to finish the year, and it was very, very well received. We have a very strong education program, which demand is far exceeding what we're able to supply each year. We do over 70 events, engaging with about 11,000 students and young people from across the region. These include school matinees, teacher programs, workshops, resources that are provided in schools, as well as a youth arts festival that we do in the middle of each year, summer school. I mean, it's a very comprehensive program that runs around the year and is very well supported. We also, over the last 4 years since we moved out to the Mount Eden War Memorial Hall in Balmoral, we've been running a participation program which is very much about community engagement. We have a range of activities that run from there, engaging with amateur groups, community groups, independent companies. We do talks, we do forums. We're very much opening up about what we do to the local community there and further afield. One of the things that's come out of that is that we are doing a 3-year partnership with the Mangere Arts Centre, supported by the Mangere and Otahu local board, which is very much about building attendances and audiences and creative endeavours for that space. Each year that sees us doing 2 productions. This year we're doing a school holiday, low-cost school holiday and family show called The Lolly Witch of Mumuland, which follows on from some of the other work that we've done there. And then we've also commissioned spoken word poet Grace Taylor to do a new show there in October, which we hope that will then go on and tour. Part of that also sees us running a year-round program called Mangere Frequencies, which we're working with the local library out there, which is very much about collecting and celebrating local stories in Mangere. And we're seeing from this how we can build that. It's a different model from what we run in the central city, but it's very much about building capacity and building engagement with the arts. And it's a program that's very well received, and we're very excited about it. Two other things that I would briefly like to mention is that the ASB Waterfront Theatre is underway, thanks to an early support from council to make that pledge. We have completed all the fundraising for that, and the $35 million project is under construction. The crane went up 10 days ago. We've completed the groundwork, and the steel work will start going up at the end of March. It's a hugely exciting development for the Waterfront Theatre, well supported by all the businesses and people from the research that we've done going down there. And to be honest, we couldn't have done this without council support, so I would like to thank you for that support that you've given us to get to this stage. We're scheduled to open, practical completion is in July next year, and we'll be scheduled to open with the first show going in there in November. The other project that we're currently working on is a partnership program that we're doing with AUT University. Part of this is we've developed a 10-year deed of collaboration with AUT University, which is very much around arts and education, which again is will not only build capacity for the work that goes on in that theatre, but we'll look at the role of what the teaching artists can do, going out into schools, working with communities across the region, and a whole range of various art forms. And that's at its early stages, but we've had a number of forums about this, working with people across the sector, and it's something that I hope we will be able to report back to you that's showing that can really deliver to the youth goals of the Auckland Plan and the role that arts and culture can play in the lives of our young people. So happy to take questions. Thank you for the opportunity of coming to talk to you today.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation and for the work that you and your company does. It adds to Auckland's vibrancy, makes it such a special place, and it's hugely important for our inner city, and also our work in our more far-flung wards where you have presences as well. But it's much appreciated. Questions, councillors? Obviously, you've done a very good job. You've solved and soothed all their souls. I'll move that the presentation be accepted.
Got the money now.
Second. Thank you, Councillor Walker. Those in favour? Contrary, carried.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our second presentation is from the Voyager Marine Museum. Stardome? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now I have the list. Cheers. Welcome, David.
It was a pretty fluid arrangement. So,
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, councillors. My name is David Holdsworth. I'm the Chief Executive of Stardome, the Auckland Observatory and Planetarium. I'd like to thank councillors for this opportunity to present to you and to give you a bit more background on Stardome. First, I'd like to pass on an apology from Jeff Mason, who's the chair of our trust board, who's unable to be here due to prior business commitment. I'd also like to introduce Melissa Glue, who's our Finance and Administration Manager, and who is also responsible for our education programs. Given the importance of education at Stardome, I thought it would be good to have Melissa here to answer any questions you may have about this most important part of our activity. Most major cities around the world, and certainly all of the 10 cities listed in a recent survey of the world's most livable cities, have a planetarium as part of the cultural fabric of the city, alongside their museums, art galleries, etc. Stardome is New Zealand's largest planetarium and its leading astronomical attraction. Its facilities comprise a world-class planetarium where visitors can see shows about space and the universe in an immersive 360-degree dome. Excuse me, astronomical and educational displays and exhibits in the foyer and public areas, a publicly accessible observatory where visitors can view planets and constellations, and a world-rated astronomical research facility, all located on the slopes of one of the most iconic volcanic cones in our city. We also have a number of spaces that we can hire out for a range of activities, such as corporate venue hire and even weddings, to produce additional revenue to support our core activities. Excuse me. In addition, Stardome has introduced a range of non-astronomical shows and diverse programs over the past few years, such as music shows, Valentine's nights, etc., to broaden its customer base, to attract a wider audience from throughout the Auckland region, and to provide additional revenue sources. Entry to Stardome is free, but visitors are required to pay an entry fee for public and education programs. In the current year, we expect to have around 145,000 visitors to Stardome, of whom around 80,000 will pay to see a planetarium show. This represents a predicted increase in visitors compared to the previous year of around 15%. Around 95% of Stardome's visitors are from within the Auckland region, with the balance of visitors coming from other parts of New Zealand and from overseas. Stardome strongly supports the vision outlined in the Auckland Plan and Auckland Council's strategy of making Auckland the world's most livable city. And we have a number of programs targeted at supporting these objectives, and I'd briefly like to outline a number of these. Firstly, putting young people first. Stardome strongly believes in the importance of helping young people to achieve their full potential and is firmly committed to programs that encourage and support education for the younger citizens of Auckland. Over 60% of Stardome's visitors are children, the majority of who visit with their schools as part of the curriculum requirements for science and astronomy, and we are constantly refining and improving our education programs to meet the ever-changing learning requirements in today's society. Reducing inequality. I think this is the area where we are most proud of what we have achieved at Stardome over the past 2 or 3 years. With support from regional amenities funding, we have introduced 2 programs that encourage visits to Stardome by some of the less fortunate children from within our society. The first is our low decile school program, which heavily subsidises visits by children from low decile schools from throughout the Auckland region. This has proven to be extremely successful, and in the current year, over 12,000 children from low decile schools will visit Stardome under this program. The second program is our Southern Initiative, under which children from various community groups from the 4 areas in South Auckland, defined by the Auckland Council as being areas of special need, can visit Stardome free of charge. In the current year, we will have some 3,000 children visit under this program, with the number projected to double next year to over 5,000. It's a sad fact that for many of the children who participate in these programs, this will be the first time that they have ever been on a school trip. We believe that by offering these children an opportunity to participate in our education programs, it not only increases their knowledge, but helps to expand their horizons and assists in reducing inequality. Cultural diversity. At Stardome, we have developed a range of shows and programs that are specifically targeted at the various and diverse cultural and ethnic aspects of Auckland, including Maori, Pacifica, and Asian, and will continue to develop shows which assist in achieving the vision of Auckland Council of strengthening and supporting a sense of community and bringing communities together. Historically, astronomy and the study of the sky has been important to people from all countries and most cultures, and we will continue to promote this science for the benefit of the citizens of our great city. Engagement with Maori. Stardome has a number of programs that encourage engagement with Maori, including our Matariki program, which now runs for almost 2 months each year, and our Matariki Dawn Planetarium show, which we continue to improve each year and which recently won an award at an international planetarium conference. Our Matariki program was originally targeted at Maori, but the audience has been growing steadily from throughout the whole of the Auckland region due to increased awareness of the importance of this cultural festival. Stardom also works with the Auckland Council on and provides the venue for the the Council's Matariki Festival in June of each year. With funding from the ASB Community Trust, we have been able to translate a number of our planetarium shows into Te Reo to meet the demand for Maori language programs, and we intend to expand on this initiative in the future. Going forward, Stardome is constantly looking at ways to improve the experience for our visitors, and to this end, we're in the middle of a significant strategic review involving external consultants with international experience enhancing visitor experiences. One of the major problems we have at Stardome is the size and configuration of our facility, which seriously constrains our ability to offer more to our visitors. The major purpose of the strategic review is to identify ways that we can generate increased revenue, and it's highly likely that the review may eventually propose increasing the size of our facility so that we can provide an enhanced experience for our visitors, and one that they'll be happy to pay more for. However, that is a topic for a future discussion. In conclusion, I would like to say that I believe that without regional amenities funding, it is highly likely that Stardome would no longer exist, and it certainly would not be able to provide the citizens of Auckland with the benefits that the facility currently provides. Regional amenities funding has underwritten the sustainability and financial stability of Stardome and has allowed for the provision of a world-class observatory and planetarium open to the public of Auckland 7 days a week. On behalf of Stardome and the Auckland Observatory and Planetarium Trust Board, I would therefore like to thank Auckland Council for its ongoing support. We'll be very happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, David. I very well remember as a child going to the Stardome, or a form of what it probably is now, taking both my boys there and looking forward to taking grandchildren there. It's one of those things, as a young mind, it just opens your eyes and opens your mind. So thank you for your work. Questions? Councillor Fletcher.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question relates to the success of the low decile school visits, and particularly for those children who are on their first school visit. Given your proximity in terms of the location to the manga of Mangakea, how much interest is there amongst those school groups as to just the importance of manga? Is that something that, in addition to the activities for which you are directly responsible, is that something for an opportunity for wider educational experience?
I'll let Melissa answer that one.
So one of the projects that we've been working on with Cornwall Park Trust is actually a whole experience. So the experience at Stardome for a school group is an hour and a half. From there, we've got some new programs such as Life of Trees. We're working with the Trust Board basically to extend our experience to be a half day to sort of 5-hour experience where they actually go up to the summit, look around there, go down, go through the olive grove, talk about the significance of the park and One Tree Hill.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Fletcher. Councillor Casey?
I wondered what percentage of your visitors come from outside of Auckland?
Around 5%. 95% from our most recent surveys tend to come from within the total in the Auckland region, the broader Auckland region.
And do you get any of the tourists that come off the cruise ships?
Very few, unfortunately. It's something we have spent quite a lot of time and money on. Without much success, to be honest. It's just very difficult to get them from downtown Auckland to where we are. It's just a step too far. I think a lot go to the museum, but just getting them to One Tree Hill is proven to be very difficult. And it's also the nature of our facility makes it difficult to bring tourists in, because we have planetarium shows that start on regular times, and so have a bus full of people turn up just on a random basis just wouldn't kind of work too well. So unfortunately, it's something if we could come up with an answer, I'd love to have it, but it's just not been very successful.
Thank you.
Councillor Walker.
Yeah, is one of your constraints parking? Is that an issue?
It's an issue. Yeah, we have when we have open days, sometimes we have 3,000 people visit in the course of a day, and we cause all sorts of traffic chaos around that area. We've got a car park adjacent to our facility, but it's also used by general people coming to the park. So sometimes our visitors can't even get in. So yes, it is an issue.
So have you considered a memorandum with Auckland Transport? That's happening increasingly, so that there's a provision for people to arrive through PT?
It's something we are working on. Yes, it's not been that successful because it's difficult to get people to come to us by public transport. It's just the links are not that great, and as I said, the timing of our shows makes it very difficult to tie in with buses and so on.
Thank you. Councillor Wood.
Yeah, I just want to ask a question in relation to AUT have now got that radio research facility at Warkworth. Is that still operating?
Yes, this is we work very closely with the Auckland Astronomical Society, and they are working very closely with both Auckland University and AUT. As I said, there's a research facility at Stardome, which is not well located because we're right in the middle of the city, and so it's not a great place to have a research telescope. So they are talking with both AUT and Auckland University about relocating that to somewhere else, and one of the places being discussed is the Dome Valley north of Auckland.